Alright everyone, we are back with the final installment in the Mario Kart 8 tier list videos, and we are starting off, I will admit, with a bit of a stinker, as they say in the industry. And as much as, I have complained about the Mario Kart Tour tracks in the past, I will say this one is among probably the worst. Like this one and Berlin Byway, or whatever the heck that one's called, they are very much neck and neck in terms of probably the worst Mario Kart track, Mario Kart 8 tracks, but like of the tour ones specifically. And so, nothing but love to Amsterdam and the Netherlands, but I cannot say that this is a I cannot say that this is a favored track of mine, because simply it's not a good layout, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that Amsterdam is a gorgeous, wonderful city in real life, and one that I, could see myself visiting someday. However, as a Mario Kart track, it just doesn't work for me. Sorry. I hate to start it off this way, but this is going in D tier, to no one's surprise. But let us, I guess, whatever, change course. But yeah, I was gonna say, let's cut to when I start the next track. We are now on Riverside Park, which I had to make the point of looking at the name and really sticking it in my brain, because otherwise I would not know what this one's called. I think I would maybe call it like, Jungle Twists or Waterfall Fury. I don't know. I just, or maybe like Piranha Plant Falls. That's what I would call it, Piranha Plant Falls, because Riverside Park just is not, I don't know, this track is just not evoking that for me. But let's talk about the track itself. Would I say that it is challenging? Not particularly. If you look at the little map, obviously you can tell it's a lot of twists and turns, and sometimes I can get annoying, but I would say it's pretty tame on this map. Aesthetically, I don't like this like haze of yellow that everything has. It's similar to that one, the cake one, like the dessert one. In that, like, I'm like, well, why is the sky yellow? Like, why does the water look yellow? I don't know. I finished it quicker than I thought. Okay, this one's not bad. Okay, one thing that I will say that I like, that I should have pointed out earlier, I like the little piranha plants walking around. I think they are silly. I think it's fun when I don't think they're doing it because it's on the timed version of it. Okay, first, it's a C tier, but, usually, like, when you're playing this normally, the piranha plants will be, like, blowing up, like, balancing with their breath. I don't know how to say that. Little mushrooms. And so I think that's fun, but I think they're a fun hazard in the same way that the cows from Moo Moo Meadows are, and I like watching them walk on their little feet. Anyway, we are on DK Summit, right? Which I would say, I've expressed my love for tracks with the cannon, so I think this one starts off pretty strong. What is there to like about DK Summit? Let's practice, seeing the good in these tracks, because I'm gonna admit this cup is probably one of my least favorite cups in terms of like just the tracks that are on it in general. I like the Shy Guy snowboarding. I think that is fun. maybe it's a lack of personal experience. I don't know about you guys. I've never been skiing. I've never been snowboarding. I have never been to a mountain. Not this kind of mountain, but like the types of mountains you go to ski or to snowboard and what's not. I've never been to those. So maybe there's a lack of personal connection, and that's the reason why I just don't connect with it aesthetically, but also like it's kind of boring. I don't know. I just don't like love it that much. Like this is the only fun part, I think, and then from here, then what? You know what I mean? Like, okay, ooh, a turn. I'm trying. It might surprise you that in this moment I am trying my best to be like positive and like and like find things to like about this track, and I'm doing awful at it. I mean, as you could probably tell, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put DK Summit into C tier. This one's just not that amusing to me. I don't know. I don't really enjoy it. On to the next. Now we are on Yoshi Island, which is based on the game Yoshi's Island. So, aptly named. Aesthetically, this one's knocks it out of the park. I think Yoshi's Island is such a cute game aesthetically. I like that they referenced it, and that we're sort of getting, tastes of different areas and different enemies and creatures that exist in the game. I think that is very fun. However, I think the layout of this track, I love seeing that big, like, I don't know what those blue things, like those blue blob things are, but to me they are like, iconically associated with Yoshi. But I will say the layout of this track is kind of bad. I don't know. I think that beginning part is a little annoying. I don't know. It just feels like there's never, how do I put this? It feels like there's never a point in which you're able to sort of like get any traction or gain any speed. It's immediately turn after turn after turn after turn, and it's sort of like I know that question mark cloud is available. I'm just doing an awful job at hitting it, and I'll try for the third lap, but it just feels like there's no point in which I'm ever able to get my bearings, because it's always like, okay, do this turn, and then even when you jump off right here, which is kind of fun, jumping off into water, it's immediately into another turn that, guess what, leads to a turn in a different direction. So I don't know. I think aesthetically this one is so strong, but just like as a track, like it is not fun. Is it challenging? Yeah, but like not in like a fun way that maybe like a Rainbow Road can be. I think this is a very fun feature or aspect of the track. I think that can really switch up the, like, in a neck and neck race, like where it's really a close call. I think that can really, that question mark path can really be a deciding factor. I'm gonna say B tier. I'm gonna be honest, leaning toward putting it in C tier, but I don't know. I think the more that I spoke, oh boy, the more that I spoke about the positive aspects of it, I think I appreciated it a little more. We are now on, what was it called? Bangkok Rush, which, you know how much I love these Mario Kart tour tracks. I will say this part is fun. I don't know what this like low-lying water with, okay, I thought Lakitu was gonna get me, but like I like it conceptually. I liked the the shallow water with the boats in it, and driving through like a market, like a fruit market, produce market, I don't know what you would call that. But other than that, it's kind of just a city with like what, freeways and buildings. You know, like at what point do all of the, I do think crabs on the street is funny. But like at what point, how do I say this? All of the Mario Kart tour tracks start to really feel the same. And it's kind of like thematically it's like, oh, city with building and streets and, you know, this notable piece of architecture. And then it's like after that I'm like, okay, and then what? Like I don't know. It just does not lend itself to a like whimsical game like Mario Kart. Like I think Mario, like it, like I'm this turtle, like spiked turtle shell little creature guy with like a mohawk and a rat's tail. And so like I don't know, it's like why am I in some real city? It doesn't. Okay, just to get the ranking out of the way, that one's not awful. I don't hate it. I'm gonna say C tier, but it's not whimsical. I don't know. I think that's the word. It's not like fun. It's not kooky. It's not silly. It is just like, I don't know. Like at that point, why wouldn't I just do like some, I was gonna say like some Formula One racing game, but I don't think you race through cities in those games. I don't know. I've never played one, obviously, but what I'm saying is like, I am playing a fictional racing game because I want to race in fictional settings, not in like cartoonified real ones. I don't know. Anyway, we are on whatever the heck this track is called, which I would say is just like aesthetically standard Mario. You know, it has classic fixtures like Goombas and piranha plants and trees. I like this little forest area, and I like what they did with the light coming in between the trees. I think that looks very good. We even have something like Peach's Castle, which is a nice, you know, touch to always have in the background of a quintessential Mario track. But other than that, like, does not have much to offer. I would say it is a bit simple. I do not like this obstacle. I think the fireballs are kind of annoying. I don't really like them. And maybe, you know, I don't like them because they're actually a challenge, and so maybe that is a point in its favor, but I don't know. I don't like this final part of it either. I think the turn is way too harsh, but I do think it kind of makes sense that if you're going to put a harsh turn anywhere, let it be the end instead of the very beginning. And so I'm going to put this track in C tier. I don't know, it's just not, it's not my cup of tea, guys. What can I say? Alrighty, we are now on Waluigi Stadium, which is, you know, one of those like dirt bike looking tracks. You know what I mean? Like there's other ones that look like this, which is just like all the Wario ones. And we're just sort of like, oh, mud stadium tires, you know? If I had to describe it in 3 words, there you have them. Wait, was that 3? Mud stadium tires, yes. So, you know, like I said, there you have it. I would say, oh, I didn't do the top level, like the track above the track thing. But, you know, I will say this one's not that bad. In terms of the track layout, aesthetically it's boring. I don't know. I was like, whatever. I don't care. But in terms of the track layout itself, it kind of reminds me of Ribbon Road or whatever. The one where you're like in this, like, where there. I think it's just called Ribbon Road. I'm just gonna. Oh, I didn't do it again. Dang. Okay. I swear I usually do it. I don't know why I am not doing it now. Okay, in this third lap, I'm going to take the top track. But not the first one, because I actually don't know if I know how to get onto that one at that point. Why don't we give it a try? It's right over here, right? Where does it start? Oh, like, hold on, maybe like, okay. You didn't see that, don't look. Okay, that was a slip up. See, oh, look at how good I am at getting on top of the track. See, that's a, whatever. I don't know. What is there to say about Waluigi Stadium? Is anyone a Waluigi Stadium fan? It's not bad. It's not good. I'm going to say B tier, middle of the road. We then move on to Singapore Speedway, which I love. And guys, I love Mario Kart Tour. I can't get enough of these Mario Kart Tour tracks. They are just the bee's knees. They are just so freaking groovy, and I love it. I think they're so fun. Like, I always say, like, I wish that I was like, oh, instead of these cool fictional worlds that I could like be driving in, like, what if I was just like, what if it was Mario Kart, but it was my commute to work? And that's like what I've always been missing. That's like the one thing that I've been saying about Mario Kart, where it's like, oh, like, yeah, Mario Kart is so fun and I can't wait for Mario Kart World, but it's like, when are they gonna add a track that is my exact commute to work and that I'm just having to drive through a city? Like, that's like that's the ingredients that's been missing, and Mario Kart Tour has sort of like fulfilled that for me. And so I hate to give it away so soon, but this is gonna be an S tier track. I just love the city ones. They are just so fun, Okay. I will say in favor of this track, because obviously I was being, facetious, as they say, but I in favor of this track, I will say it is the most colorful one, and so for that, colorful, like, in a good way, not like New York Minute colorful, but like, I don't know, this one's actually kind of like cool looking. I'm gonna say C tier. I don't know. I think that, like, at this point I am going to be crowding C tier so strongly, but I mean, blame Nintendo for making so many of the DLC tracks like poop. They're just bad. Oh, okay, finally I'm done with that cup. Oh, come on, guys, please. I'm never gonna get a break from this. And you might be thinking, oh, but this one's not like technically a city, and so like, well, I guess it's an ancient city, like a city from, I don't care, guys. It's poo poo. Don't put this on my plate and say, oh, look, delicious meal, when I can look at it and smell it and say this is poo poo. Me, a mature adult man, using my wide vocabulary to describe my feelings. Anyway, shout out to Rome. I almost said Italy. Guys, I'm just gonna be honest, when it comes to geography, I don't have the slightest clue. Like, when I saw the first track was like Amsterdam Drift or Amsterdam Dash or whatever, I went on my phone and I looked up, where is Amsterdam? Because I did not know what country that was in, and I kind of felt like embarrassed that I didn't know. And so, for those of you who have gotten like 20 minutes in, that is a peek behind the curtain to my mindset of, I don't know geography, but let me pretend I do. And that's why I specifically said something like shout out, what'd I say? Netherlands? I don't even remember where it is anymore. Anyway, I finished this track and was not paying attention. I was too busy exposing myself for not knowing geography. I've played this track plenty to know how I feel about it. It's, I'm gonna say C tier. It's awful. And for a Mario Kart Tour track, I appreciate them doing something different, but even then, it's not that good. So, alright, we are now on Daisy Cruiser, which, you know, finally I am freed from the grips of Mario Kart Tour for now. But Daisy Cruiser, I think pretty I was gonna say iconic track. Is that true? Do people like this track? I will say, okay. Well, let me get the negatives out of the way and then I can speak positively. I think it's better that the original version is better, but I still think it is fun that they brought it back. I like it thematically and the layout of the. So when you're doing a timed race, do the tables not move? Because that's a very fun obstacle. I love that you're like on a cruise ship and that there's people dining on these tables and then they're being shifted around and blocking your way. And then there's also item blocks that roll around as the ship, you know, tips and turns. Oh no, the tables do move. Okay. I've never been on a cruise ship before. I don't know if I would like it. Like, it sounds fun, the concept of it. But then, anyway, the layout of the track is good. I like it. It's a fun theme. I'm gonna say this one's a pretty good, pretty strong. Like I said, I think the original is better, but I still like this one. I'm gonna say I'm stuck between B and A tier. I'm gonna say B tier. But I do, no. We'll say A tier. It's an A tier track. Because, you know, when I'm thinking about the tables, I like the option of going two different paths at the end. I like it. It's an A tier. Ooh, Moonview Highway. Now, I said in a previous video, where are my driving at night fans? And well, guys, wake up. And I know you're behind the wheel and conking out right now, but wake up. It's our moment. Driving at night fans, make some noise. It's Moonview Highway. As much as I was making fun of the Mario Kart Tour tracks, and I'm like, oh, this is like, oh, if only it was Mario Kart, but my commute to work. This feels different. This one's like, I don't know how to explain it. Mario Kart Tour is just like, it's just ugly. But anyway, let's not talk about Mario Kart Tour. I like this one. I love, you know, the tracks that are at night. I think they're fun. I always appreciate the added obstacle. Okay, the bomb cars, those are wild. And as of right now, I have not, you know, bumped into one. Oops. But when I can tell you this, when I have played this game in my normal in my normal life, I have ran into those bomb cars, especially around this turn. Guys, okay, like that. I can promise you, in real life, I'm a way better driver, guys. I have only been in one accident, and that was a while ago. So you can trust that if you're in the car and I'm behind the wheel, let's say, you know, role play, I am your Uber driver. Oh, are you, and then Y/N for your name, and then you say yeah, and I'm like, oh, are you going to, and then insert destination. Just know you're gonna give me 5 stars because you're gonna love the ride anyway. Moonview Highway is a B tier. I like it. It's fun, but you know, not too, like, not anything special about it, but it's still enjoyable. We now move on to Squeaky Clean Sprint, which feels like a bit of a mouthful, you know, like that is a I don't know. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe maybe it's not that much of a mouthful. I don't know. Anyway, have you ever dreamt of being tiny and sentence? Have you ever dreamt of being tiny and driving around in a bathroom with, I'm not gonna lie, way too many things in it? Well, baby, guess what? Now that dream can become reality because squeaky clean sprint, I would say, it's fun. I think when I was asking for whimsy is brought in this track. Why is there toothbrushes in? Is that a sink or a bathtub? Because if that's a bathtub, why is, okay, first of all, well, your toothbrushes shouldn't be laying in your sink, period. But like, if you had to pick a spot, the sink makes more sense. But okay, and a busted toilet. Uh-oh. Okay, why can't I get up there? And okay, then I could have gotten myself out of that. I kind of felt like Lakitu wanted to feel important in that moment. But anyway, no, this is the sink. Ew. So this person. Why is there tennis balls in your bathroom, guys? If your bathroom looks anything like this, I say this with nothing but love. Maybe give it a little, It's kind of ironic that this track is called Squeaky Clean Spring when this person's bathroom is a mess. But anyway, I think it's a very silly track. I think it's fun. Whenever I play this track, I think of the let me get up there. Damn it. It reminds me of the beginning of the Mario movie where Mario and Luigi, because they are plumbers, go to like work on that person's bathroom and then the dog like attacks them or something. I don't know. I don't remember what happens. I would say this track is middle of the road. I don't love it. I think aesthetically it's fun. The track itself is not that interesting to me. No, it kind of is. I'm just gonna say B tier anyway. I don't like it that much. Like, I think the idea of being in a bathroom is it's gonna be a weird sentence. I was gonna say the idea of being in a bathroom is fun. Like, I don't know, like obviously I've been in a bathroom, but like, how many more of these do we have left? Jeez. Like, this cup has, I'm gonna be honest, I think they were lazy with the DLC. Like, why are there so many Mario Kart Tour tracks? There are so many other Mario Kart games, not the mobile games, that Toad looks wild, that they could have pulled from, and to just pull so much from Mario Kart Tour, it's like, guys, come on. Stop with the laziness, because what is this? Okay, well, I don't know what country Los Angeles is in, but, shout out to you if you live in whatever country Los Angeles is in. I will say, like, see, this is the thing. I've never been to LA. And also, like, why is it like the Dodgers Stadium, but just not the Dodgers Stadium? I don't know. Shout out Shohei Ohtani. What do you want me to say? This track sucks. I'm not finishing it. D tier. I hate it. Guys, I'm tired of being negative. I'm in a good mood, but you wouldn't be able to tell that from these awful tracks that they forced me to play in. And I have not done a singular S tier track, which is bad news for my thumbnail. Alright, Sunset Wild, I think is what this one is called. I was about to say, and then I was like, well, duh, you just said I was going to say lovely sunset, but, well, yeah, because it's Sunset Wild. Another desert track, but not like Egypt desert, but like, what would you say, like Arizona desert, Texas desert? I would say like American desert, North America desert. Anyway, this is one of the GBA tracks, which are not my favorite, but this one's not that bad. I always like these parts where there's a bunch of ramps. Also, why are there like these. Why are there dinosaur tracks? Well, that's what I assume they are. Or maybe one of you. Never mind. I was gonna, make a joke at the expense of people with big feet, but I didn't want to do that. Let's say maybe one of you size 12 individuals just happen to walk through this track. That was mean. I don't mean it. If you wear a size 12 shoe, just know I respect you. I think you are a valuable member of society, and thank you. If you're subscribed and you're a size 12 shoe, I couldn't do it without you. So please don't leave. Okay, I think I've done. I was about to say I think I've done enough. Yeah, I finished it. Anyway, yeah, this one's a C tier track. It's kind of boring. I don't know. We are loading up the C and D tier with this one, baby. It's bad. All right, you all, Koopa Cape. This, a lovely change of pace from what we've been getting as of now, because I feel like we haven't been getting any. No, I lied. I was gonna say we haven't been getting any like water aesthetic tracks, but we just did Daisy Cruiser, so I'm like, anyway, it just feels refreshing to be on this track. It's it feels what's the word that I'm looking for? Like dynamic, like a lot of changes, but like fun ones. Aesthetically not the strongest. I do like seeing like the waterfalls and like the mountainside or like the cliffside that we are on, but other than that, I think it's a little lacking aesthetically. It's just not like when you think of a track like well, I'm about to spoil things, but DK Mountain, or what is it, DK? I think, is that what it's called, DK Mountain? DK, the one. Or when you compare it to like even something like Yoshi's Circuit, I don't know, or Yoshi's Island, where like aesthetically it is so strong. This one's just kind of like meh. I think I've made up my mind. I'm gonna put this one in B tier. It's not bad. It's not great. It's middle of the road, but we have not had the luck of having any. What is left? Yeah, DK Mountain. That's the one I was talking about. Okay, I can tell you there's at least like 2 S tiers coming up. But I'll tell you one thing, Vancouver Velocity is not one of them. And shout out my neighbors to the north, the Canadians. I love the little donuts from Tim Hortons. So, thank you for sharing your culture with us. Anyway, we are on Vancouver Velocity, which like feels like a bit of a forced alliteration, like velocity, I guess. I will say this one's probably one of the like, at least in this area, like cuter tracks, because it kind of gives me like, I kind of feel like I'm in a winter resort instead of like a tropical one. But then, once we're back in the city, it's like, okay, like bridge and water. So this is like, if Vancouver is anything like this track, then it seems very nice and somewhere that you could go on a cute little like weekend romantic getaway. But I'll be honest, like feeling it out, because I've been so strongly negative to the Mario Kart Tour tracks. This one's actually not that bad. I don't mind it. Again, shout out to my driving at night fans, because guys, don't you love when you have to go through a tunnel and it's those orange lights? I don't know why I associate those with when I drive to the airport. But anyway, I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate this one. I'm not finding a lot to dislike about it. I've never been to Canada. I would. Shout out Canada again. This one's actually not that bad. I'm gonna say it. So, Vancouver Velocity gets a B tier, which is the highest I think I've ranked. No, I think Paris Promenade probably got a B tier too. But yeah, it was not that bad. Can I be done with these? Damn. Wait. When I said Athens, I said shout out Rome, but this one's called Rome. Like Italy. Guys, would you believe that I took Italian as a class, and in that class I learned about Italian geography, and would you know it, none of it stuck with me. I'm trying to think of did I rank the no, yeah, I did put it in a B tier. I'm trying to think of any Italian phrases that I remember. It's gone. Sorry to my professoressa who taught me Italian and, gave me so much praise for how good I was at Italian, because it's all lost to me. Anyway, Roma Vanti, let's lock in. Let's pay attention. Listen, I recognize it's another driving at night, but this doesn't feel like a city you should be driving through. This feels like a city you should walk through, you should bike through, but drive? Mm-mm. Okay, this part's scary. Like when you're playing it, they're like, oh, and bite at you. Okay, for those of you who have been in my comments being like, God, please do dog roleplay as if you're my aggressive dog. There, you got it. So please stop commenting that. But yeah, this feels. Whoa, I finished it already. Okay, I'm gonna say C tier just because it's not that notable, remarkable. But I will say, this seems like a city you should be walking or biking through, but not driving through. But I would love to go to Italy. Italy is another country that is on my short list. I don't even think I have people who watch me who are from Italy, or in Italy, but maybe some of you are from Italy. But anyway, I would love to go to Italy. Anyway, finally something good. Finally something I could sink my teeth into, something I can savor, something I can, enjoy, something I can bask in. DK Mountain, everyone. This is Mario Kart. This is the whimsy, the magic, the fun, the challenge that I've been craving. I mean, and look at that big grumpy volcano. What a nice guy. This is just a fun track. There's so much going on. There's different aspects to it. Different terrains, varying obstacles. Who here hasn't dreamt about being smashed by a giant boulder? And again, that dream can come true on DK Mountain. I like this ending. I like the twisty-turvy bridge. I just think this is a great track. Even though I have, obviously, my mind made up, I want to keep playing it. I think I deserve it. I think this track is great as is, but I remember always thinking when I was younger and when I would play this track that I always thought oh, when's the volcano gonna erupt? And I don't know how you would necessarily pull that off. Maybe on, I don't know. It would just be hard between making it erupt and it equally affecting first and last place, but I always just thought of that as a kid. But anyway, I love this track, and for those of you who are from DK Mountain, I just want to say that is also on my short list of places I want to visit. So shout out to you guys. I don't know why I'm always inclined, if I was being sincere and talking about oh, I'd love to go to Italy, this or blah blah blah, or my shout out to Canadians and whatnot, but then I always feel the desire to, I don't say mock my own sincerity, but perhaps, that's not the right way to put it. Anyway, guys, DK Mountain is an S tier. My mouth had almost forgotten how to say those words after trudging through so much poo poo. And this was a lovely break. I feel like it was nice. We then move on to Daisy Circuit. So, Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii, which I do have, but for whatever reason, I don't know why I don't remember this track. I feel like I played Mario Kart Wii plenty, but I don't know. Anyway, I do prefer to take that Baby Luigi and Baby Daisy. Was that in the original version? When did they invent the babies? Like, of the characters? Anyway, I think this track I think it's like cute. I like this, let's say oceanside town. I do think it's a little on the plain side, as in like, it doesn't feel, do the cones do anything? Like, do they slow you down, or are they just sort of there for you to hit? Because if it's the latter, I think that's kind of fun. Like, this does nothing to affect your gameplay, but it does kind of give you something to run into. But yeah, I think it's cute. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I think I've made up my mind. I'm gonna say Daisy Circuit is a B tier track. Alright, you all, we are now on Piranha Plant Cove, which I think for the DLC is one of the like new ones, or like an original. I will say this one is aesthetically very, very strong. I think, I love how much of it you are underwater for. I like this idea of perhaps coming across these ruins underwater that were, for whatever reason, created. These statues, these architectural fixtures were made in favor of piranha plants. And so I think that's pretty fun. I like it. It is one of the tracks that like changes every lap, and so I do appreciate that, because as much as Mario Kart Tour this, Mario Kart Tour that, I will say that's something that's like pretty nice about those. All right, pardon the interruption, my friends, but anyway, we are to the end. I was just saying I enjoyed that it changes from lap to lap, and it makes it feel unique. I'm gonna say this is a B tier track. I don't think it is the most fun or challenging, but aesthetically it's strong and it's not bad. Some parts of it are a little annoying, but for the most part it's pretty good. So I'm gonna say B, a good strong B. We're finally on the last cup, and finally on the last Mario Kart Tour track, which is Madrid Drive, which I believe Madrid is in Spain. So for all of you who are saying like, oh, you know nothing about geography, you would never be able to label a map on your own. Don't you feel silly? Okay. One thing that I find very funny about this track is, why is there just some random wiggler, huge wiggler by the way, in the middle of Madrid? What does that mean? I do think that part is fun, where there's these paintings of a piranha plant, and then there's a real piranha plant sticking out of a painting. But yeah, I think this one suffers from the same fate as, or same flaw as Rome Avanti, in that this feels like a city I shouldn't be driving through. And so, you know, I don't know. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the Amsterdam one too, but that's what I'm saying. They all just start to feel the same. But yeah, it's not D tier awful, but it is C tier unremarkable. And with that, we move on to the next. Alright, we are now in Rosalina's Ice World, which aesthetically very, very, very strong, very cute track. I would say also very challenging from the start, because this part you do not want to get hit by a red shell or perhaps another stray item, because you will be in trouble, my friend. But I do like this part. I do like the little toad homes and the penguins waddling on top of the ice. I do appreciate that there are two paths, although I usually don't like taking this one because it's a bit difficult, and that's why I was hugging the wall as intensely as I was, because I didn't want to fall off. But I am, even though I usually take, well, in the lake part, I usually take the top path like I did in the first lap, just to get, you know, a better, oh no, I meant to go in. Okay. Yeah, we'll just look at it. Okay. Come on. Get a grip, I say to myself. But yeah, I think this is a fun track. I think it is challenging. I think I definitely have suffered plenty on this track, so I will say that. But for the most part, I think it's a pretty strong track, and I like it. So I'm going to say A tier. We then move on to Bowser's Castle 3, which I think I've expressed enjoying the Bowser's Castle tracks. And I don't know if I've expressed this before, but guys, I will say this. I am a big fan of lava, particularly lava in video games. I just think aesthetically it looks so cool, and I love, you know, I don't know, it kind of looks like, it looks so like a tasty sauce. Like don't you want to just like dip some wings into it? And I don't think it would taste like a buffalo sauce. That's the thing. I think it would be maybe like a mango habanero. That's what, like, I kind of imagined lava to taste like. For those of you who are wondering. But anyway, Bowser's Castle. I don't know if this is going to come as a surprise to anyone. I love this track. I think it does simple very well, without feeling boring. It feels challenging enough. Aesthetically, it is just so freaking cool. Like I said, I love lava in video games. I think it looks really cool. I don't know. I really enjoy it. I like, well, this part you will not be able to perceive unless you go play it for yourself. But I think this track has really good music on it too. I really like it. It's like, if I'm remembering correctly, like I finished like a very like guitar heavy, like rock sounding song. And so I really like this one. I'm gonna say this is another S tier track in the DLC. I really like this one. Alright, you all, to finish it all off, to bring it all to an end, the Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii, which, okay, why didn't I get a boost? I think I have been quite a fan of the Rainbow Road. Well, no, I don't think. I know. I think. What do you think? I think. Whoa. Okay, guys, you did not just see that. Guys, I just clipped through the track. Wait, you did see that? Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? But anyway, I am a fan of the Mario Kart, or the Rainbow Road Kart. Oh my gosh, the Mario. I am a fan of the Rainbow Road tracks in Mario Kart, and this one is no exception. However, personally, for me, for my level of skill, I will say this one is the most challenging when I am playing with my friends. Okay, let me correct. When I'm playing with my friends that are good at Mario Kart, if this track comes up, I'm going to suffer because for whatever reason, everyone seems to be better at this track than I am. But the other Rainbow Roads, I seem to be decently good at. Like the more that I play them, I think that I get better. This one's not the case. I almost think I perform worse the more that I play it. But you know, it's a good track. I like being challenged, but one thing that I will say, and I think this is probably like an homage to the original or whatever, but I don't like when you fall off this track how much time it takes for you to get picked back up. Like, because I understand the whole like, oh, you're sort of like meteor like and whatever and catching fire. I just, as someone who falls on this track a lot, I feel like because it takes so long to get put back on the track, it's kind of like, it kind of makes me not enjoy it as much. And I don't, you know, your response may be, okay, then just get better and don't fall off. But guys, I've tried that. Anyway, that is the end of it. I'm going to say Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii, not an S tier, but it is an A tier, a very strong A tier. And well, that is it, everyone. I have done every single track on Mario Kart 8. I've done my tier list. I've ranked them. You know how I feel. You know how much I hate Mario Kart Tour because I never shut up about it. But yeah, that is the end. I hope you enjoyed it. It definitely took a lot more time than I thought. Hopefully I managed to get my hands on a Nintendo Switch too. I'm a little bit doubtful these days, but hopefully I manage to get my hands on one, and I'm able to do Mario Kart World video soon. But until then, take care of yourselves. Bye.